Sorry.
Good evening. In this speech, I'm going to inform you on how a team that lost a quarterback and key essential players to their team won the Super Bowl, despite all odds against them. With perseverance, a great coach, great players, and a whole city behind their backs, the Philadelphia Eagles won their Super Bowl in Super Bowl 52. Let's start off with the regular season. In the regular season, the opening game, they played the Redskins. They did fairly well. They won that game. Then they went to Kansas City. They did fairly well in that game too, but they came up short and got a loss. After that Kansas City game, they regrouped. They went on a 9-game win streak. Then they flew out west. They went to Seattle. In Seattle, they came up short with a hard-fought loss for them. The next game that they played in Week 14, Carson Wentz tears his ACL halfway at 3/4 of the way through the game, going in for a touchdown. He is probably one of the only players to play on a torn ACL, and he got a touchdown. That tells you how mentally tough he was. Now, at this time when he tore his ACL, Carson Wentz was in that category for the MVP. And with this injury-plagued season, a lot of key people were going down, and Carson Wentz had a top seed. So they brought in this guy who played for the Eagles a little bit before then, but he brought in this guy called Nick Foles. Nick Foles was debating retirement, but Doug Peterson gave him a call up and said, "Hey, I need you to be behind this guy we got, Carson Wentz." And he came, and so we had to put him in. He won the Rams, and he won the next 2 games. But in Week 17, we lost that game against Dallas, 0-6. And then people started to doubt Foles. They said, "Does he have it? Can he win a championship? Can he carry a team to a championship and win that elusive Super Bowl for the city of Philadelphia?" So let's talk about the postseason. The postseason, since we're the #1 team in the NFL, we had a bye week. So our first week in the playoffs was a bye. So then we had to host the Falcons. We won that game barely, 15-10. Then the Vikings came to town. A lot of naysayers were saying that the Vikings were going to kick our butts. But guess what we did? We blew them out, 38-7, and we were on our way to the Super Bowl. Now, leading up to the Super Bowl, a lot of people were doubting Philadelphia. Does Nick Foles have it? Still talk about Nick Foles, even though he's proven himself in the Vikings game and the Eagles game and the Falcons game. They're doubting him. But here's a quote from Colin Cowherd, an analyst. "With Carson Wentz, with Jason Peters, with Jordan Hicks, this is a coin flip game. You've got none of them. Gronk is back. New England is healthy, and have they been all year. They etched this in their schedule. This isn't a Super Bowl for them. It's just a game. Philadelphia players are guaranteeing a W, all wearing their GoPros, making videos with friends and family. 31-21, New England beats Philadelphia soundly on Sunday." Now, a lot of this is going on. So, Super Bowl is here. Finally, it's Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday. The start of the game is just like any other start of the game. We're driving down the field. We score a touchdown. They score a touchdown. It's a back-and-forth game. But we have the lead late in the game. And coming up on the final ticks of the game, Tom Brady has the ball, and he's driving down the field. But guess what? Brandon Graham is right there lurking them out. He comes around on his weak side, strip sacks him. We get the fumble recovery. We're just a couple minutes away from winning our first Super Bowl. But we still left time on the clock for Tom Brady to have a couple shots in the end zone. And that's the bad thing because Tom Brady is Tom Brady. He's a GOAT. He can do anything with just a couple minutes left. But we stopped him, and we won that elusive Super Bowl that's haunted us for 52 years. 41-33, we beat the Patriots. Now, against all this, even though we were number 1 seed in the NFL, we were still considered the underdogs. And I'd like to give you a quote from Jason Kelce. No one wanted us. No one liked this team. No analysts liked this team to win the Super Bowl. And no one liked our fans. So our fans would get a little crazy. They like to climb on things. They have to grease the poles in Philadelphia so we can't climb them. So what? But after 52 years, once you try to climb a pole, all I have to say is fly, Eagles, fly. And don't you love a good underdog story?